Hi guys, this is Deck from Invictus Music, making your Conquerable. We're looking at 3 ways to get the most out of the pentatonic scale. All this and more coming up. The minor pentatonic scale. Every guitarist seems to know it, right? That magical 5-note scale. For those of you who don't know what a pentatonic scale is, I'll show it to you real quickly with close-up cam. So that's the minor pentatonic scale. It's just basically a scale that just repeats itself. And a lot of guitar players seem to know that scale. But there's also a lot of guitar players that don't really know how to get creative with the pentatonic scale. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 ways on how to spice up that boring old pentatonic scale. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so tip number 1 that I'm going to give to you guys. The one thing I want you to try is some chromaticisms. What is a chromaticism, you may ask? What chromatics are is that we play every note across the fretboard. So on its own, sounds pretty bad, right? But if we were to combine the minor pentatonic scale with some chromatics in there, not all of them, just a little bit here and there, like so. We kind of get this jazzy, bluesy sound. Using chromatics is a really good way to do that. So I'm just going to play a little example with a backing track on how I would use chromatics with the minor pentatonic scale. So that's how I would use chromatics in the minor pentatonic scale. Like I said before, it gives a slightly jazzy sound. So I hope you found that tip helpful. Let's move on to tip number 2 with the minor pentatonic scale. Tip number 2, combining the minor pentatonic with the major pentatonic. You're probably thinking, well, what's the major pentatonic? So for you guys who don't know what a major pentatonic scale looks like, this is what it looks like with close-up cam. So that's the major pentatonic. Now, this only works, this tip when I'm about to show you, in a blues scenario. So when the band is playing a typical blues shuffle, like a... That's when you can combine the minor pentatonic scale with the major pentatonic scale. I will now show you an example on how I would blend the minor pentatonic with the major pentatonic right now. So that's how I use the major pentatonic and the minor pentatonic in tandem together. I hope you found that tip very useful, and I hope you can use that within your own playing. Okay, so for tip number 3, this one seems a bit unorthodox, but what we're going to do for this is that we're going to play, believe it or not, a semitone out of key, just for a split second, a very split second. I will now demonstrate this through close-up cam. Now, with that example I just played, it might sound a little bit odd by itself. We want to grab the listener's attention by playing out of key for just a split second, and then only staying there for a split second, we go back into the key. So therefore it creates a nice sort of tension and release, which is great for jazz blues playing. I'll now play an example of this right now. So the hardest thing about that tip is knowing when to land back on your feet, i.e. get back into key of the song. Know how to do this and you will entice the listener. Stay in that realm for too long and the listener will become bored and disinterested. Nobody wants to make the listener bored and disinterested now, do they? Okay guys, so that was 3 tips to spice up your pentatonic playing. I hope this video helps. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be much appreciated. Hit the like button and also turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss another video. Leave a comment down below for suggestions of what I should do for the next video. We could go through modes, arpeggios, anything you want, or any musical topic that you think is interesting. I could do a video about that as well. Anyway guys, this has been Deck from Invictus Music, making the Unconquerable, Conquerable.